Dozens are dead in the Afghan capital of Kabul after suicide bombers attack a cultural center. ISIS claiming responsibility, showing the terror group still poses a threat despite its losses in Iraq and Syria. Retired Lieutenant Colonel Scott Mann is a former Green Beret. He's now president of Rooftop Leadership. Scott, thanks for being with us.
Hey, Rick. Happy New Year.
Same to you, sir. So coalition forces, we know, killed tens of thousands of ISIS fighters, but clearly you can't kill them all.
Yeah, absolutely. Longest war in our nation's history. And hats off to the work that's been done against ISIS in Syria and Iraq. But just understand, this is a threat that follows a doomsday prophecy, Rick, and they believe in it strongly. And, just taking land mass away from them will not defeat them. They'll withdraw, displace to other countries like Afghanistan, and they'll set up shop there.
But not just Afghanistan. They have safe haven elsewhere as well, right? I mean, do we know where they are and how they're able to continue to recruit?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're operating in the southern Philippines. They're operating in Libya. I mean, they have a presence in the West, in the United States. 25 to 30% of the foreign fighters from Europe have returned home. So they're able to displace in a range of places. But the other thing we need to remember, Rick, is that these guys have taken a major blow in 2017, and they're going to be very eager to reassert themselves and show their relevance on the global stage in 2018. And I think that means them hitting us at home even more so than we've seen in the past.
Well, that's frightening.
It is. And understand that ISIS, if Al-Qaeda practices terrorism, ISIS practices horrorism. They like to hit us not, at the World Trade Center or the USS Cole. They like to hit us where we live, work, and play. And that's what I'm thinking about as we go into this new year is what does it mean to you, your family, my friends and family on Main Street, not necessarily Wall Street, because that's where these guys like to target and show their relevance.
And we've seen them very active online with a virtual caliphate. And that's a presence that really can't apparently be wiped clean.
Absolutely. I mean, look at Omar Mateen, conducted the second worst mass shooting in American history at the Pulse nightclub just an hour from where I'm sitting right now. He was radicalized, trained, and employed online, and they did Facebook Live messages from the nightclub during the shooting. So, I mean, that capability still very much exists, and I would remind every American right now, to just keep your head on a swivel during New Year's and understand that these guys are going to come at us with all 4 feet for nothing, if for no other reason than to reassert their global relevance, Rick, and they're going to do that by trying to hit us where we live, work, and play.
What about their tactics, Colonel? Can we expect some kind of change in tactics?
I think what we're going to continue to see is we got to stop calling these lone wolf attacks. I mean, this is a very coherent strategy, which is centralized vision and ideology with decentralized execution, where you have, guidance and inspiration coming from places like Kabul online, and then guys like Omar Mateen who take those instructions online and then execute, mass killings, attack schools, rock concerts. That's the new distributed form of terror, and we've got to stop calling it lone wolf attacks and give the credit it deserves, because it has a whole new implication for us as citizens, local law enforcement, and local politicians. This is where these guys operate.
And as you mentioned, at least some of them survived the battlefield and managed to make it back to their home countries. Can we expect
Absolutely.
that those guys are bound to kill again, or is there even a chance at reforming them?
I would say we should expect to see those guys again. After the Afghan campaign against the Soviets, I mean, the core group of Al-Qaeda came from the foreign fighters who returned home. We've already seen this from previous wars in Afghanistan, where foreign fighters who go away inspired to fight come back home, they set up shop, and they wage war and foment instability in their homeland. We know that a lot of the attacks in Europe, Rick, have been caused by returning foreign fighters, and the bulk of the bloodshed has been caused by them. And if history is our guide, we had better pay attention to these returning foreign fighters. Even if it's just a handful, it only takes a few for a major attack to occur.
So, former Lieutenant Colonel Scott Mann, it's Happy New Year with a major asterisk over your shoulder.
Head on a swivel.
Yeah, I hear you. Thanks very much, sir.